Answers after this happens.
It's tough to watch, but they say he was left on the floor for hours screaming in pain, as you heard, after an injury at school. ABC 13's Jessica Willie is live with the parents' concerns and the school district's response tonight. Jessica.
Yeah, the details are disturbing. An 11-year-old boy with severe autism shatters his femur after falling at school, and the parents say even the school nurse didn't do anything about it for more than 2 hours.
I love you more.
A father's love for his son.
Thank you. Love you.
Today, Herman Benserto relieved to see 11-year-old Kyle feeling better. Just 3 weeks removed from this. Your poor son was suffering.
Yes, for 2 hours. It was like an animal struggling on the road and people just surrounding it, waiting for him to die. That's how I describe it. I'm sorry, but it looks like that way.
It was November 5th, the Bensertos got the call from Quail Valley Middle School that Kyle, who is nonverbal with severe autism, wouldn't get up off the floor. His mother drove to the school, found him still there, and called her husband.
I heard in the background, the nurse was asking, do we need to call an ambulance? And I was like, what? They don't know? And my son has already been lying there for 2 hours. So I told him, yes.
Kyle was finally taken to the hospital and admitted. He underwent a surgery to insert a metal plate and 8 pins in his left thigh after an x-ray showed he had shattered his femur.
You can hear this on the phone that he was screaming. He was screaming there. So how come they don't know what to do?
Kyle's mother took this video, but since then,
I was able to sit and watch the entire 2 hours and 15 minutes of the video.
Attorney Joe Matthew has been able to watch the classroom video of the incident.
I don't know what happened in this case. It's ridiculous what happened.
He says he saw Kyle slip and fall. The rest is shocking.
What do? They just leave him on the ground. They leave him on the ground for 2 hours while they're sitting around. They're talking, they're laughing, they're eating lunch, they're ordering orange chicken.
In a statement to ABC 13, Fort Bend ISD said, quote, staff members involved in this incident are no longer employed by the district. We remain committed to creating a safe and secure learning environment for every student. For now, Kyle is confined to a wheelchair to get around. His parents and Matthew seeking answers.
What are the policies and procedures? We don't want this to happen to any other kid.
Kyle, the most vulnerable, kind. His father says it will be hard to trust again.
The neglect, incompetence of those people, they need to know what's going on with a kid.
Jessica Willie, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
All right, so today we have to talk about another incident with a child that took place at a public school within a week and a half. I did another video about a student that was bullied last week, right? And here's another video about another child left alone, not left alone, but left on the floor for 2 hours wailing because he broke his leg. He slipped, fell, broke his leg, and from the looks of the video, it seemed like the staff and the faculty were frozen in as to what to do, as if the school and the school district doesn't have protocols for emergency situations like this. And it's a tragedy. You know, I came across this information in my X news feed, and it's going to take a while to pop up, but excuse me, here's where I get my notifications. Of course, we're on the story now, as you can see my screen. However, you know, I hit explore and I see what's trending, and lo and behold, there's another kid mistreated by public school staff. There's no wonder that Trump and Trump supporters and other Republicans in Congress, they support school vouchers. They support basically limiting the power of the Department of Education and sending that power and the money back down to the states. For the life of me, I don't know why most Democrats oppose this idea. It gives parents and children more flexibility to not be pigeonholed in their district and have the opportunity to travel beyond the district, go to charter schools, private schools, or any other school other than public schools, so they can exercise that right in a free country called the United States of America. Right, just a brief summary here on X. At Quail Valley Middle School in Texas, an 11-year-old nonverbal student with autism was left on the floor for 2 hours after breaking his femur before being taken to the hospital. The incident has raised concerns about the treatment of special needs students in public schools and has led to calls for educational reform. The same reform that Trump and his supporters and most Republicans in Congress, and I'd say even Democrats in Congress, are calling for as well. We need to get a hold of this mismanagement of education funds, education facilities across the United States. I want to go to another page here. When I started researching, and yes, Fort Bend ISD or Independent School District is a public school. It is a public school. So when I ran a search on the search engine, of course, this Texas scoreboard popped up. But then earlier this year in August, you had a 10-year-old Fort Bend ISD special needs students locked up after found gun. School mom says she should be home. What is this about? Let me click on this real quick. Get the full. 10-year-old Fort Bend ISD special needs students locked up, found with a gun at school. Okay, that appears to be parents' fault. I would say detained. I hope they just simply detained her until the authorities and the parents came. Let's see what this says. September 27, 2023. Special needs child dropped off at wrong Fort Bend ISD school. Right? So it seems like it's the bus driver's fault. The school district's fault, really, in general. Let's see some of the other headlines that popped up. This is a sad story, man. 10-year-old special needs juvenile detention. Juvenile detention. Okay. Well, one bad story about a school district is one too many. And what we have to understand is that parents trust school staff, faculty, and members to protect their children. They're not science experiments. They're not your buddies. They are students. These are children who are coming to school to learn, and the teachers need to teach, and the principal needs to basically make sure that the school is running well. There's a meme that popped up that caught my attention, and it basically, it kind of basically Here it goes right here. Yeah, basically compares Department of Corrections to Department of Education. You could see in this graphic right here, once it pops up, the similarities, right? You know, you got the lunch trays, you got the buildings that look like prisons, and you got the buses that look like school buses, although I think that the Department of Corrections uses they use white buses instead of yellow buses. Don't want to get that confused, right, in the public. And basically, I've been hearing rumors about or seeing reports about how the Department of Education is a pipeline to prison. What occurs in a public school or most schools around the country is that the students are lined up just like inmates are. They wait online to get chow, to get lunch, to get breakfast. They sit in classrooms with pretty dark in nature. I've been to a public school. I've been born and raised in a public school, and I could tell you, it can get hot in there in the summertime. It can get cold in there in the wintertime if the building isn't maintained. And I'm guessing that's the way it is in prison. I've never been to jail. I've never been to prison, knock on wood. But the comparison is quite striking, as you can see. I want to bring up. And so the reason why these reports are reporting on Department of Education public schools or pipeline to prison is not only the similarities in the transportation, the buildings, and the school lunch trays look. It's also the way they line up. You have the principal, who could be the warden in a prison. You have teachers who are the underlings of the principals, who could be correction officers. And the similarities are striking. And if your kid is falling behind in school, can't read, can't do mathematics, can't reason, can't use logic, then 9 times out of 10, that student is going to drop out. And what's going on at home has a lot to do with it too. But, you know, the overall story is that our public schools are failing us, and there wouldn't be opinion pieces and articles out there written about how public schools in the United States are a pipeline to prison if they didn't see some sort of trending analysis that indicated so. Getting back to the example that I was using, as a kid falling behind in school will most likely drop out if the family structure isn't strong. They will find their education out in the streets. They'll make the wrong judgment calls. They'll get pinched by police and then processed through the system. And depending on whether or not that young man or woman or that young child, boy or girl, learns from getting pinched by police the first time, it may happen the second time, may happen the third time. And then before you know it, the person is in prison at a very young age. And of course, anything below 18, they have special facilities for them, but 18 and older, they'll go in general population with grown men and women, and their lives at that particular point has slipped away from them. So we really have to pay close attention to these types of stories. We have to talk to our children to see if there's anything out of the ordinary occurring during the school day, Monday through Friday. And we have to stay in touch with the staff and faculty at the schools our kids attend to make sure that our kid is on track and doing everything that the school is requiring them to do. Hey, if you like this, please like this video, share it if it's deemed worthy of sharing with your family and friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.